Something else I really, really like about Tai Chi is that mainly it's about being very soft and very gentle and putting no effort into a movement. Once you've learnt the movement, that is. This is me doing wave arms like clouds or cloud hands. All about being as gentle, soft, and as slow as possible. There's also a side of Tai Chi, and not forgetting that Tai Chi is a martial art which is a bit more explosive. For example, kicks, or with both hands, see if I can do it. One more time. The softer we are, the more relaxed, the more supple we are. Paradoxically, the stronger we are, the more powerful the movement is. It's really quite a difficult thing to get your head around, and it's something that comes through practice. One more thing with Tai Chi, which is that it doesn't change. There are these forms, I've mentioned them before, let's say the 24-step short form in the Yang style. It doesn't change. It's simply that thing. It's what it is. You probably know about the sun salutation in yoga. Maybe this is a sort of equivalent thing. People perform this sun salutation time and time and time again, and get better at it and discover more in it. And this is something I really, really like about Tai Chi. It's not really there to be kind of experimented with or molded or changed. It's simply that thing. And it has a very long history. The legend of it was that it's about 900 years old. It was sort of formulated, conceptualized by a monk, Sanfeng, who was one day watching a snake and a crane have a fight. This is the legend. It's beautiful, isn't it? And he applied some of the principles of movement from the crane and from the snake into martial arts, into fighting. That's where it came from. 900 years later, we have things like the 24-step short form, the 108-step form. And the great thing is they don't change. It's a bit like the sun salutation doesn't change. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous doesn't change. We have 10 commandments. We have 12 months in the year. These things are, let's say, they don't change, that we can rely on them. And what I find particularly containing, let's say, is that I know that if I practice the short form, I'm just sort of within that format for that moment in time. I'm not trying to do anything new with it. I'm just trying to do it, the thing itself. It doesn't change. So that's something else I really, really like about Tai Chi. It's quite formulaic, let's say, but you learn the formula, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. Something else about Tai Chi, it's a martial art. In other words, it's to do with an aesthetic. It's to do with sensation, feeling, appearance, image. And it's often images that are to do with nature. Here's a little bit about that. These forms, Yang style 8-step Tai Chi form, Baduan Jin, 8 pieces of silk brocade, that's a Qigong form, standing, stationary. And then the Yang style 24-step form, that's a stepping form, a hand form as it's called. It takes about a year to learn that. I finished it 3 times when I was learning. All of these have, all of the steps and the movements in each of these forms have some wonderful names. For example, in the Baduan Jin form, there's a movement called the white crane. Dips its wings in the stream. So beautiful, right? And the big bear turns to one side. And in the Yang style 24-step form, there's a movement called the snake creeps down. And also the white crane spreads its wings. And then in the Yang style 8-step Tai Chi form, there's one of my favorite movements is called the golden rooster, stands on one leg. And that's what we do. We mimic a rooster standing on one leg. They just have these really poetic, resonant, beautiful names, and often things that are drawn from nature. Something else about Tai Chi, and it refers back to what I said at the start of this vlog about patience. And I think, just to explain my history with Tai Chi, as I said, I started practicing in 2015. I was living in Bristol, did a few months with an instructor called Andy and his partner. And then I moved to London and I joined a school, and I trained for about 3 years with an instructor called Amaya, an amazing instructor, Mei Kwan Academy. And then the lockdown happened, I did a bit online, then carried on training in person with another amazing instructor called Stephen, also at Mei Kwan Academy. These were classes in London. And then I left London, I moved back to Shropshire, and I've mainly been training on my own since then. But I've also, a year before last, did a workshop with some teachers from China in Telford, Master Tarry and his wife Faye, who were really incredible instructors. And last year went to Belgium to do a couple of days training with a guy called Master Chen from Oregon, and just an absolutely incredible instructor. Learned a lot from him, just doing what I knew how to do in the presence of someone who really knows what they're doing was really good. I recognise that I'm still a student. I'll always be a student of Tai Chi, but you know, I've got, let's say, 10 years of doing it now, and it's made a really, really big difference to my life. And as I said elsewhere in this vlog, the more I do it, the more I recognise that there's lots more that I don't know how to do. I'm only just beginning this journey, even if it's I'm 10 years into it. As I said, it teaches patience, Tai Chi. One of the last things I'd like to say about Tai Chi is that you can do it on your own. It's a great thing to be able to do on your own. There's a famous piece of footage of, I think it's the beat poet Allen Ginsberg practicing Tai Chi in his kitchen in New York in the 1950s or 60s. Lou Reed, he also practiced Tai Chi. It's great to do it on your own. It's a really good way to just to sort of close everything down and just concentrate on moving and breathing and intention and will and force and all these things. Practice, technique, da-da-da-da. But it also really, really makes sense when you train with other people. So here in the Soma Space, we run a Tai Chi group. There's about 5 or 6 of us at the moment. And certainly my experiences of training with bigger groups, you know, in a room where there might be 60, 70 other people, we're all doing the same thing at the same time, kind of coordinated like you're in a grid. You're in a sort of martial formation. That's really, really amazing to do, to practice with other people. You also see how other people practice and think, oh, I could learn a bit from him or her. And I think that the important thing is that, you know, doing something a bit like line dancing or I don't know what, you know, other things that we do with other people, it's really good just to be able to do it with other people and to coordinate with them, to sync with them. The Buddhists have this really lovely idea called interbeing, which is, let's say, a shared experience of being with other people. I love this idea. Certainly Buddhist meditation groups, the reason they do it together is because they're sort of doing something on their own but with other people, and something gets shared, perhaps something unconscious. They're able to be with each other for a certain length of time. And I think the same thing can happen with Tai Chi, especially in moments when everybody's coordinating in a particular movement. It's really, really beautiful to participate in and to watch. So that's another great thing about Tai Chi. You can do it alone, you can do it with other people. Both are really, really good. Last thing, what to wear. It doesn't matter what you wear in Tai Chi. I tend to wear black. I don't know why, because it's serious, because it's quite austere. But the most important thing is about what you wear on your feet. Ideally, you'd be wearing shoes that look like this, or like this. In other words, shoes that have a flat sole, they don't have a heel. I wear this, which is completely wrong, but it's just because my feet are quite comfortable in these running shoes. So it doesn't matter what you wear on your body, but it does matter what you wear on your feet. We're looking for a contact with the ground. That's a really, really important thing in Tai Chi, a flat sole on the shoe. So a whole number of things there about Tai Chi. I hope you've found something useful in this. Particularly I was thinking for people who are just beginning their Tai Chi journey or are intrigued by it or are, you know, let's say a bit mystified by this, what is this strange Chinese martial art where people move slowly as if they're in a dream? What's going on? What is this thing? These have just been some of my experiences, some of my opinions about what Tai Chi has done for me, how it has been this really special, magical, interesting, adventurous journey into something. So I hope you found something inspiring in this video. It's quite a long video actually about Tai Chi. If you're thinking about giving it a go, just do it. Find a class, find an instructor near you, go along. Just try out a few of the movements. If you go to one class and you remember one thing, maybe this movement, it's called opening the form or something like that, take that away, practice it, and then go back the next week. You only have to go to your first class. It is quite frightening just to turn up at something new, but you only have to do that once. Go along to a class and give it a go. And I wish you well with your journey into Tai Chi and Qigong.